On November 12, 2012, Five Plan Partners was the corporate sponsor of the Samford University Network Breakfast at the Winfrey Hotel in Hoover, Alabama. Business leaders from across the city came to network and hear special guest Jason Womack, author of Your Best Just Got Better. As he shared excerpts from his book, Jason showed that working longer hours doesn't make up for a flawed approach to productivity and performance. Greg Powell, president and CEO at Five Plan Partners, caught up with Jason a few days later and talked with him via Skype about the event and additional thoughts on how professionals can master workplace performance.
Hey, my name's Greg Powell, and I'm president and CEO of Five Plan Partners, and I'm excited today to have somebody with me who has just done an incredible job getting a message out as an executive coach and with a great book, Jason Womack. Jason, thanks for joining me today.
Greg, it's a delight to continue the conversation, getting to spend some time with you on Monday morning and hearing your message of that continual iterative improvement. I knew I wanted to continue the conversation.
Well, thanks for doing that. And what I'd like to do is just starting off, when we say executive coach, and, I have the opportunity to work with a lot of executives and business owners and just like a professional golfer, they need a coach. And a lot of executives don't realize that. So why don't you describe briefly in terms of executive coach and how you've taken it to a whole new level?
Absolutely. There's really two different ways that someone's going to get from where they are to that next level of how they are. Everyone knows what they do. In fact, what we do is what's keeping us really busy.
Right.
So I get to come in as that outside, not just an advisor, but almost a liaison as people are moving toward their next level of leadership.
Yeah.
And I guess the way that I would frame it is there's two ways of going about that development. One is from a prescriptive approach. And that's where you might read a book. You might follow a particular plan or a guide.
Right.
And the other one, and this is the one that I work in, which is a performance-based approach.
Right.
And it is like the golf coach who's not going to give you a written plan. They're going to get out on the course and they're going to videotape you. And they're going to look at every move you make. And so as an executive coach, I get to work one-on-one with people watching the moves as they get to their next level, their next leadership position.
Yeah. Well, and let me say this, because we've had several calls after the presentation you gave on Monday. Just for people watching this interview, what are some of the walkaways, the ideas that you really hoped people would get from your presentation that you gave on Monday?
Let me talk about one concept that has three parts to it.
Okay, go with it.
It's about if I were going to have a productive day, an engaged day, a day where I'm going to go through those hours and give of myself to my team, my organization, or my clients. And the three things that are going to come together, one is going to be my already established habits. What do I already do in the morning? How do I already show up to the meetings that I'm presiding over? Right. And what I want to do is I want to take a look at those habits of old and just make sure that they're the ones that are going to take me to the next level.
Right.
The second thing I'm going to look at is my current network. That group of 5 people, Greg, that I'm going to spend more time with over the next week.
Yeah.
Are they the ones influencing me in a direction that I want to be going in?
Yeah.
And the third thing is the environment, what I call the ecosystem that we're working in. You sitting there in your office, you're going to have different thoughts than if I bring you to the conference room, than if we met at a coffee shop. And so I want to make sure that I'm adjusting the ecosystem, the environment, so that I can have the ideas that will bring me again to that next level of thinking, that next level of leadership.
Yeah, well, and see, what I love about the combination of this interview as well as your presentation is that, I am working with people about how do they increase their wealth in terms of their net worth, their financial future. The thing is that net worth and network go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. Also, your combination of altitude and attitude. Attitude plays a key role in somebody's financial strategies and how they map their life out for the future. And so the combination together is what I think is great. And in your book, Your Best Just Got Better, which I love the title, But in addition to that, you talk about three areas. You talk about psychology, you talk about sociology, and you talk about technology. Now, which of those three is the hardest to grasp?
I'm gonna go with the psychology.
Okay.
Only because everyone's an expert in other people. Okay? We all know what other people should be doing.
Yeah, everybody's got an opinion.
Technology, look, I mean, people are either drawn to technology or they're not. There's not a real, a big play there. But if a person will sit down and give herself the gift of her own attention to understand how she operates, how her perspective of the world has been formed over time, and how that perspective can shift over time, now all of a sudden that's a leader, that's a manager, that's a company owner that I would love to spend more time with. Be insatiably curious about how you are.
That's great. Another thing that you and I had an opportunity to just kind of talk about that you didn't really go into as much detail, probably because of time, was about influencers. Influencers to productivity, to personal growth. Talk about that for a minute. I got very excited about that.
Chapter 5 of my book it's my favorite chapter. It was the one that I kept coming back to as I was writing the book. I knew I needed that chapter to be the bridge as people had gotten into the book. And then in the middle, I needed to give them something big to keep them going, right?
Right.
Chapter 5 is titled Improvement and Your Social Network. The subtitle is, if you want to go far and fast, go together.
Yeah,
and what happens is we surround ourselves by people through our lives, our family, our friends, our colleagues, our clients, our vendors, our customers. And over time, what they say, what they bring us, what they share with us begins to influence how we look at the world. And look, if someone came over and nudged me into a new position, I would realize that. But what winds up happening, it's a subtle shift. And I just want to make sure that those subtle shifts are moving me in a positive direction.
That's great. Well said. And I love the book. In fact, below we've got a link where people can order your book and learn more about it. You want to just tell them, because, I'm already starting to give out copies of your book as gifts to people. And
it's the season.
It is season, you're right. And with that, you want to just tell them what they're in for in reading this book? Just something brief here.
You're in for a treat. You're in for some time with the most important person of your life. You're in for time with the CEO of the direction that your life is going in, yourself. The book is deep. There are 10 chapters.
It is. I don't deny that.
Divided into 3 sections. But I made it easy for you. So the first section is all about working smart, about being effective and efficient. The second part is about thinking bigger. It's about casting the vision maybe 18 months or 36 months into the future. And then the third part of the book, the final 3 chapters, brings it all home. And that's what I call making more. It's the contribution that you're now ready to make to your community, to your company. It's of the overflow that you have, that you now get to spread that information and your experience around. Look, folks, you're too busy right now, and you're maybe not able to coach those folks around you. You're not able to give of all of yourself to them. So let's help you out, get through the busyness so you can really work on the business.
That's great. Well, we're thrilled to have had you here, and we're
I'll be back.
Yeah, yes, you're right about that. We're already having discussions about that. So I really appreciate you taking time.
Greg,
we had people that were attendees at the event that just said, "Can I hear some more from Jason?" And so we thought this would be a great way to do it. And you just keep us informed, and we appreciate you sharing all your ideas with us, not only at the event, but in this video.
And Greg, for everything you're doing with 5 Plan, for all of your clients, we thank you. You're helping a lot of people. And that's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think we both get a lot of fulfillment by trying to make a difference in people's lives.
Amen to that.
Yes. Take care, Jason. Thanks again.
Bye now.
Bye.
Five Plan Partners wishes to thank Samford University's Brock School of Business for partnering with them in creating this valuable event for the business community. And a special thank you to Jason Womack for motivating us all to seek practical methods to achieve a balance in our work and personal life. Find more valuable information at the following websites: